but now he has to go back to his planet. Old MacDonald had a farm. If you take Ambien or sleep aids or any kind of medication like this, be careful. Don't change your doses. Talk to your doctor first, because you could end up being on the news for being outside in the yard in your underwear waiting for aliens. Hello you guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. If not, feel free to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I try to make new videos weekly. Sometimes I fail, but for the most part I'm doing okay. If you have been here before, then you will notice something a little different. I dyed my hair purple. So yeah, just a little fun life change. I was feeling it. I wanted to do something a little spontaneous and fun. So with that being said, let's just get into the story. So this story, this was not me, but I was very, very much involved in it, and you'll understand that throughout the story. But I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background information on this. So I have a stepdad. I live with my mom and my stepdad. And my stepdad, he has really bad sleeping problems. So he's been taking Ambien for a couple of years now to help him sleep. And on this particular day that this story takes place on, well, night, I guess. It was night, obviously. I mean, it was Ambien. He took his Ambien and we had a little bit of a different experience. For those of you who don't know much about Ambien or pharmaceuticals, Ambien is a very strong, potent sleep medication. When Ambien first came on the market, there were tons of news stories about the crazy things that people were doing at night. People would wander the streets naked, people would get in their cars and drive and have no recollection and still be asleep. Just tons of crazy things that people do on this medication because, like I said, it is so strong and powerful. So, on this particular night, this was my sophomore year of college, I believe, and I had come home for the weekend, and I was in my room. It was about 12:30 a.m. I'm kind of a night owl, so I was in my room just hanging out watching some Netflix, and I get a call from my mom, and she's like, I need you to come into my room now. And for me, I'm like, this is a little bizarre that she's even up right now, but okay, like, wonder what's wrong. So I go into my mom's room, and my stepdad, who I have never seen cry, not really a very open, emotional person, is literally sitting in bed bawling his eyes out, like bawling. And I'm like instantly so concerned. I'm like, okay, what happened to him? Like, what is going on? What's the deal? So basically, he tells me that he called me into his room because he needed to say goodbye to me, which freaked me out, obviously. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, goodbye, why? It's 12:30 a.m. Where are you going, you know? And so I'm asking him, like, you know, where are you going? Like, what's wrong? And he starts crying harder and telling me that he loves me and my mom so much, and we have taught him so much, but now he has to go back to his planet so that he can teach them our way of life. Just let that sink in for a minute. So, I thought he was kidding at first. I realized very quickly he was dead serious. There was no kidding. So my mom and I are just kind of looking at each other like, what is going on? And she tells me that he has been like this for about 20 minutes now. He is convinced that he is from another planet and that he needs to go back to this planet, and that they are going to come tonight, that night, and take him back to his planet. So he's telling us all of the wonderful memories he has with us, all of the amazing things that we've taught him about our way of life here, and that he's so sad that he has to go. And we're just really confused. So At this point I was in nursing school and I was taking pharmacology. So I asked him, I said, did you take your Ambien tonight? And he said, yes, I did. I took my Ambien tonight. And I was like, okay, like, did you take it normally? He decided that because he could not sleep, he would take 2 of his Ambien pills that night. Fair record, don't ever do this. Bad idea. Terrible, terrible idea if you're ever on Ambien or sleep medication. Do not try to fix your doses yourself. Talk to your doctor, because this is what's going to happen. So he starts to tell us that they're coming for him tonight, them being the aliens from his planet, and that he has to go wait out in the yard for them. Keep in mind, he's also just in his underwear. Like, that's his pajamas. He's just in his underwear. And he is trying to now leave the room to go outside in his underwear to stand in the lawn and wait for them to take him to his home planet. So my mom and I are like, you know, I think you're wrong. I don't think it's tonight. You know, we would have known. I don't think it's tonight. Just kind of trying to get him to, like, stay normal somewhat. But he's convinced they're coming and he needs to get out there. And he's crying because he wants us to stop him, but he knows we can't because he's got to do this for his home planet. He's their only hope. So my mom and I are basically just like, dude, you're not leaving this room. Like, you can't. Sorry. Like, we're not letting you. And to him, this is like, we just love him so much that we won't let him go back to his planet because we're gonna miss him. But in reality, we just didn't want him to go stand outside in his underwear in the yard and have all of our neighbors be like, what the hell is going on with this man? So he's crying, and we managed to get him back into bed. And, you know, at this point, I'm like trying to sneakily like take his pulse and stuff. I just want to make sure he's like okay. I'm like counting his respirations, because like when you fuck with this stuff, it can fuck with your vital signs. Like it's just not, you don't play around with this kind of medication. You just don't. So I check his vitals, he's okay. And he's sitting there and he's just telling us about how much he loves us and how much he's gonna miss us, and that he hopes that he can come visit us at some point. And then he gets up again and we're like, hey dude, like, you know, where are you going? And he's like, oh, I'm just gonna go downstairs and get a snack. Which, if you know my stepdad, is not unusual. He is a big, like, nighttime snacker. He does this all the time. I catch him down in the kitchen all the time when I go down to get, like, water or something. So we were like, okay, we'll come with you. And he was like, no, like, I'm just gonna go down and get a snack and then I'm gonna come back up. And we're like, all right, cool. Get the snack, come right back here. So we're sitting there, my mom and I, and we're just like, oh my god, like, he is tripping balls right now. Tripping. He's gone. Just gone. When you open the door to my house, we have an alarm system, and we don't like actively turn on the alarm, but when you open any of the doors to the house, it makes a little beep 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 sound, so that, like, you know someone's coming in, and you can hear it throughout the whole house. So we're sitting up there waiting for him to come back with his snack, and we're kind of, you know, listening a little bit, like, what's going on down there? And wouldn't you know it, we hear beep beep beep, and we're like, ah, crap, like, he's trying to leave, he's trying to make his exit. So we like book it downstairs, and we end up finding him out on our back deck like this, waiting for the aliens to come pick him up in his underwear. So we managed to tell him, like, hey, you know, you're out here, they're clearly not here, you know, you probably just have the wrong night, you probably misread their alien communication, whatever the hell, and maybe you should just come back upstairs and we'll wait for them upstairs. I'm sure if they come, you know, they'll come find you, they'll get you, whatever. So we managed to get him back upstairs into bed, and he just starts singing like the most random songs. I don't even know the songs because they're older, but he starts singing these songs to us while crying still. It's not funny, I felt bad, but like literally, I mean, he was just sitting there singing like, Old MacDonald had a farm. Like, it was like that. And we were just trying so hard not to laugh because he was clearly taking this very, very seriously. But eventually we managed to get him to fall asleep. And you checked his vitals again, made sure he was like good, sound, stable. And the next day we told him what happened. And he had absolutely no recollection of the conversation, no idea what he had done. He could not believe that he did that. He is a very, very rational human being. So this is like just out of there for him, like, you know. And yeah, that is a story of how my stepdad was tripping balls on Ambien. So moral of the story, if you take Ambien or sleep aids or any kind of medication like this, be careful. Don't change your doses. Talk to your doctor first, because you could end up being on the news for being outside in the yard in your underwear waiting for aliens. So, cautionary tale. Thank you guys for listening. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will try to be posting more often. So with that being said, see ya.